The Warlord of the Sea that Ace once defeated, the grade of Fujitora's sword, and the former Empress of Amazon Lily, Eiichiro Oda just revealed a lot of new information in SBS 109. If you don't know what SBS is a Q&A that Eiichiro Oda does in each One Piece volume. In the SBS, he will take fan questions that were submitted to him and answer some of them. Oftentimes, these SBS questions reveal new information about the series that we've long been asking, and sometimes they're also just joke questions. With the arrival of the latest SBS in One Piece Volume 109, we got a mix of both with some interesting new reveals by Oda, and I'll explore them here today. My name is Champazard, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up by hitting the like button, and leave a comment telling me what you think about the SBS Volume's questions. Let's get started. Something we've known for quite a while now is that Ace once defeated one of the 7 Warlords of the Sea, but the question was that we never knew who he defeated. We were unsure as a character we already were familiar with, or somebody we had never seen before. It turns out it was the latter. Ace defeated this warlord prior to his time in the Whitebeard Pirates, when he was the captain of his own pirate crew, the Spade Pirates. In this SBS, a reader asked Oda, in chapter 1100, the warlord that Ace beat, which was being talked about by Kuma and Saint Saturn, what was that person like? Oda's response to this was, and I quote, "He looks like this. His name is Hanafuda. His hobby is collecting ancient Zoan devil fruits. What he's scheming behind this remains unknown up to now. His height is 514 centimeters. His other name is King of Lizards." Along with giving us information about this new character, Oda also reveals his design of what he looks like. In response to the reader's question, Oda straight up gives us his name, Hanafuda, and we can see his design here. He's just like a fairly large person. He has a mask, he has a unique outfit to him. He carries what looks like a scythe and a breaking ball with spikes on it down at the bottom of his feet. We don't know the specifics of his abilities and powers, like if he's a devil fruit user or not, but you could assume that he does if he collects ancient Zoan devil fruits. But not all characters who do something like that may be prone to eating them. Naturally, you believe that he utilizes these weapons you see here now on his design. We also know in the story that when Ace defeated this warlord, this led to Kuma taking his place. So in actuality, Ace defeating this warlord opened the door for someone like Bartholomew Kuma, who's waiting at a very major point in the story now to become a warlord. Whether we'll see Hanafuda appear in the story again, who knows? But it's easy to assume that he probably isn't dead based on what Oda said here, when he says what he's scheming right now remains unknown. Also with the name the King of Lizards, he may have eaten an ancient Zoan that turns him into a lizard of some kind. There's also a lot more where that came from. The next question that Oda was asked was, please tell us the name and rank of Fujitora's sword. More like a statement, not a question. Oda reveals the name in Japanese, which was translated to be something along the lines of Yakuza Kaisen, or Kaisen, forgive me for pronunciation, the Yakuza firing line. Also says it's a Shiko Mizue, or Shiko Mizu, a sword stick and a cane sword, and it's also one of the Supreme Grade Blades. If you're unfamiliar with the Supreme Grade Blades, they are the finest swords in the One Piece world, there being only 12 of them. We knew very few of the Supreme Grade Blades in existence, and this adds to it. When talking about the Supreme Grade Blades, you need to think along the lines of Yoru, like Mihawk's sword, like Ace, Roger's sword, or Muro Kumogiri, Whitebeard's sword. The Supreme Grade Blades we know of have been wielded by some of the strongest people in the One Piece universe. Mihawk, the strongest swordsman in the world, and Roger and Whitebeard, 2 of the most infamous pirates to ever live. Every individual we've encountered so far that carries a Supreme Grade Blade is renowned for their overall fighting strength. Now, we don't know the full extent of Fujitora's power, but until now, he hasn't quite reached the level of strength that we would imagine from someone like Mihawk, Whitebeard, or Roger. Perhaps Fujitora is a lot stronger than we anticipated. The reveal of him having a Supreme Grade Blade changes a lot regarding Fujitora. We haven't seen him in action a whole lot in the main One Piece timeline. We've seen him more so in movies, but the main we saw of him was in Dressrosa, and a lot of what he did then wasn't really related to his swordsmanship, but more of his devil fruit, where he brought meteors out on Dressrosa. But as the case with so many other characters, maybe we'll see the full extent of Fujitora's power in the future. Oda was also asked about Golden Lion Shiki, who was the main villain of One Piece Strong World. While One Piece Strong World is not considered a canon movie, Golden Lion Shiki is, as he's appeared in the manga in One Piece Chapter 0. I'll show the main quote from Oda here on screen. He pretty much states about how the Golden Lion Shiki you see in One Piece, the one in Strong World, are the same person, but the events of Strong World are not canon. As he mentions that in the Strong World movie, Golden Lion Shiki was not supposed to eat that devil fruit. You can try to force the events, but it won't be that connected to the main story overall. So my interpretation, he's straight up saying that no, the events of One Piece Strong World are not canon to the main story, but Shiki is. But we already kind of knew that. Another question also had some interesting reveals regarding Amazon Lily. The question mentions how Granny Neon said that the Empress from 2 generations ago died from falling madly in love, but we didn't know who this Empress was. Now in Oda's response, he says this is a matter of reading comprehension, which has spawned a One Piece meme on Twitter with lots of people using that as a meme. But that's not the point of this question in his answer. Oda elaborates about how from Amazon Lily, many warriors and empresses have died from love sickness, without knowing the true reason, and how others in the kingdom have avoided death but not going overseas. Some pictures and a timeline were added of the empresses from back then until now, and this reveals the character Toritoma, who also died from the love sickness, who was the previous empress before Boa Hancock. Other translations have her name as Tritoma or Tritoma. We know very little about Triatoma, other than that she once pardoned Gloriosa when she returned to the island after being free from slavery. And what else we know is that she also died from a love sickness. A lot of people have been theorizing who this character might be and what connections she might have, like that she might be Luffy's mom. That's quite a leap in terms of assumptions, but who knows? Maybe in the future we'll see her come into play in some sort of flashback or more information to be revealed, but right now we know very little about her. It also gets a question with the CP8 member Alpha, and asking if she is a relative of Khalifa from CP0. And it reveals that they are indeed related and that Alpha is Khalifa's younger sister. It talks about how Cypherpole raises kids with no kin relations for them to become excellent intelligence agents, and that in this event of them actually being related and both being in the CP organizations is a rare case, and that they are individually raised apart from one another with very little familial connection. Oda also gets some information on Kuma's Pawpaw ability fruit. Here back in Sabaody, Kuma said the Straw Hats flying to very different parts of the world. Well, Oda gets asked about Kuma's Devil Fruit ability, and if the fruit's abilities where it can fly are limited to the places where the user has been. Oda confirms that this is the case, where the user can only travel or send people flying to places that the user has already visited. And in Kuma's case, he once traveled around the world, so all the places that he sent the Straw Hats during Sabaody are places he had previously visited. Oda also gets asked about Bonnie's Devil Fruit, and that if she keeps on maintaining her young age forever, if she won't be able to die. But Oda elaborates that in chapter 1072, Bonnie said, when it comes to living things, the effectivity won't last forever, and he confirms that at some point, the effect will be undone, meaning that no, she cannot live forever. One of the last few questions I haven't covered yet is where Oda got asked by the members of CP9 how they got promoted into CP0. One reader even asked Oda to draw him a butt. I'll leave these questions on screen for you to see yourself. But I mainly just wanted to cover the most interesting parts that I found to be the best part of this SBS Q&A. And the three that I were most interested in was about the Warlord that Ace defeated. We've yet to see Hanafuda appear in the main One Piece volume. We've seen him alluded to here and there, but nothing definitive in terms of him actually appearing in the story. Going off the nature of Oda's answers, talking about how Hanafuda is still scheming to this day, it seems that Hanafuda is probably still alive out there somewhere, and could play a role in the features of the story. Would he have a major role to play? Probably not, because he was defeated by a pre-time skip Ace, meaning he's probably not on the power or strength level of like the crew currently. But Ace overthrowing a Warlord of the Sea in his early days as part of the Spade Pirates was an easy way for him to get notoriety, showing that he was strong enough to compete with the Warlords of the Sea. I never really expected Fujitora's sword to be one of the Supreme Great Blades, considering how rare they are and how little of them we see in the story, and especially considering who's wielding them. But it can also make sense in the context of knowing how Fujitora became an admiral to begin with. As I mentioned earlier, we only know of 3 or 4 of the Supreme Great Blades before Fujitora's reveal, and they were Mihawk, Whitebeard, and Roger. All individuals held in extremely high regard for them having reached the pinnacle of strength. So knowing this now, it seems that we might have been greatly underestimating the strength of Fujitora, and he might be on the same level of the likes of Aokiji and Kizaru. And in addition to that, another big thing to come out of this SBS volume was the reveal of the former empresses of Amazon Lily and how they died. With us now knowing who preceded Boa Hancock, lots of people are assuming and making guesses at who she might be and any connections he has to the current story and any characters in the current story. Like I said, I've seen people theorizing about who she might be, like she might have hooked up with Dragon and might be the mother of Luffy, which is a big stretch right now as we know too little about her to even begin to theorize about that with concrete, complete evidence. There's also a chance we'll get a lot more information in the future. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did any of this information, this SBS volume, surprise you, and what did you think about learning it? Personally, I'm glad to see who the Warlord Ace defeated was and learning more about the Supreme Great Blades. Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to hit the like button as it helps the video a ton. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. My name is Champazard. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.